So you know you're supposed to apply to dental school early, but what does that actually mean? What are the specifics that you need to do? Hi, I'm Don Osborne with Enquoter.com, and in this video I want to give you an overview of the dental school admissions timeline and teach you how to apply to dental school to get a competitive advantage. Let's take a look. Okay, so here you can see just a typical timeline for the dental school admissions process. And as you know, there are 3 steps to the admissions process: primary application, a secondary application, and then of course the interview. And the deadline for the primary is typically early October. Now, if you don't know that you're supposed to apply earlier than that, then some students simply think, well, I'll just turn my primary application in, just before the deadline, maybe the end of September or whatever, just the same as I would do for any other school assignment. But if you have been told, well, maybe you're supposed to get your application in early, some people might think, well, early might mean of something like early September. But that's actually not the best strategy, because there's an awful lot going on behind the scenes here that you really want to consider. So let's change the point of view, and instead of being an applicant to dental school, become an admissions staff member working at a dental school, and pretend that you're the person who prepares all the applications and sends them off to the admissions committee. You've been told that you're only allowed to send completed applications to committee for consideration for an interview. So what exactly does completed mean? Well, of course, you need the primary application and you need a DAT score. You also want to get secondaries back from the student, and you also need letters of recommendation. You need all of these before you can send the application to the committee. So that's something that you really want to think about as a student in order to make sure that all these pieces arrive as early as possible. However, there's a couple of things go on here that are a little bit more behind the scenes. For example, the primary application goes through a process known as verification. So the American Dental Education Association does this, compares grades on your application with your official transcript to make sure everything matches. So this is very tricky because that process is done on a first come, first served basis, which means that if your ADSAS application and your transcripts both arrive in early June, you can get verified in just a few days. But if you wait until July, then verification can take up to 2 weeks or more, who knows. Now, many dental schools will send you a secondary automatically, or more specifically will invite you to go online to download the secondary application right immediately as you apply, which means that you can begin to fill out the secondary just as soon as you've applied to dental school. You don't need to wait for any kind of a process that you go through. So while some students are preparing for their DAT, maybe late May, early June, middle of June, or writing a personal statement, still your application should be in the hands of the admissions committee already. You're one of the very first few applicants to be considered, which means that admissions committees have the greatest flexibility in considering you as a candidate. So here are some key milestones that I want you to consider for the dental school admissions timeline. Number 1, apply as early as you can in June. Make sure that your DAT score is completed and available by the end of June. Send your transcripts as quickly as you can so that verification process can start. Check with your registrar to make sure that you know how long it will take them to send official transcripts to ADEA for you. Return your secondaries back to dental schools no later than the end of June so that all of your stuff, even your letters of recommendation, can all arrive back to dental school by the end of June so that they can look, evaluate you, consider you as a candidate, send you into committee to see if they would like to invite you for an interview. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this discussion of the dental school admissions timeline. Please give this video a thumbs up and write your suggestions in the comments below.